Hello friends, welcome to my channel Go Digit. Today in this video we will understand about key reference data type. Okay, so generally whenever we do any task with the tables, we sometimes come across certain scenarios where we do not have an access of the table, or we do not have any information that which table this record I should search for. For example, the find entries page where you just input the document number and system will give you all the details where that document number record is available. So all these types of scenarios you can cover with the use of record reference and field reference and key reference. So today we will touch upon the topics of record reference and field reference, but the main core part which I want to cover in this video is key reference. Okay, so if you see the definition here, it is written here that it identifies a key in a table and the fields in this key, right? So for example, if I let's say write down here, create one variable of let's say location type, and if I go to this definition and let's search for the key area, here you can see that we have three keys available: key 1, key 2, key 3. And we all know in the business central the key 1 will always be the primary key. Okay, so here in our case the code field of the location table is the primary key, and the other two keys are the secondary keys. Okay, so if you see the definition, it identifies a key in a table. Okay, that means it identifies this complete key. Okay, and the second definition is that along with identification of a key, it also identifies the fields in this key. So for example, if key reference identify the key 1, then it identifies the field in it which is code. Okay, but if you see the key 3, it has two fields. So it will identify both these two fields as a part of the key 3 field. Okay, so this is the use of this key reference, and sometimes during the development we there are some scenarios where we require to identify that what are the primary keys of the what are the primary keys and what are the fields of that primary key, okay, for that particular table. So for all those scenarios, we should know how this key reference concept works. So today in this video we will see that concept only. So let me create here one procedure, okay, and name it as, let's say, find keys of location table. Okay, now it's time to write the definition of this procedure. So very first thing is that I need to open the definition or open the structure of the table. Okay, then only I could identify that what are the keys of that particular table. Okay, so here in my case I have to open the table location. So what I can do here is that first I will create one variable of type record reference. Okay, record reference is also something very much similar to the concept based on the key reference, that it refers to the record. Okay, this is what the definition of this record reference. It refers to the record which you pass into it. So for example, now what I can do is that I can write recref, and it has one function called get table. Okay, so this means that I have to pass the record which I want this record reference variable refer to. Okay, So because I have to pass the record information, so I have to create one variable called record variable. Okay, sorry guys, I have not added this var here, and now I can write location. Okay, so if I pass this LOC here, so it means that I am passing this location table to this record reference variable. Okay, now if we see what is the error, record reference var record ref. Okay, so although record reference also have one more function called open, and it will take if I show you the definition, that it takes the parameter called number. Okay, so if I can pass the table number here, then also it will work, because the table number of location table is 14. So if I pass like this, then it means that I am passing the reference of location table into this record reference variable. So you can do it either way, but let me remove this line. So now my record reference is having the complete structure of the location table, all this information. But my requirement is something else. I want to play with the keys of this location table. So let's see if record reference has any such function available. So if you type key, you will find that it has such functions available. Key count, key index. So first of all, let's uh, count the total number of keys available in the location table. Okay, so I'll use this, and if you see, it returns the integer value. So what I can do is I can create one variable of key count as integer. Okay, and pass it here. Why it is showing me error? Okay, sorry. Record reference dot key count. So this function key count will pass the total number of keys which are available in location table to this integer variable. So here in our case, the count should be 3, because we have 3 keys available. Okay, so now my key count will hold the value 3, right? Now my idea is that I want to traverse to all the keys one by one and identify that what fields are available in each key. Okay, so that is why I first of all identify the count of keys available in my location table. Now it's time to first let me print the message here as table key count is %1 and key count. Okay, so that we could see that how many count my table actually will show here, or my variable shows to me. Okay, so now I have to traverse each key one by one. So this means that I have to use a loop. So we will use the for loop here, and for, let me create one variable of called integer here. So let's say for I equals to 1 to key count, then do begin Okay, so what I'm telling the system that from value 1 to whatever that number of count this variable holds, I have to find the index of my key, which is this key 1, key 2, and key 3. Okay, now I have to find the index of my key. Okay, so if you type here again record reference dot, it will show this key index function and it will returns the result in key reference variable. So here it is the time that we should create the main variable, which is key reference. Okay, and along with that you could see that it requires value, index, integer. Okay, so yes, here I could pass I because I have to traverse one by one. So first I will traverse to key 1 and then key 2 and then key 3 and so on until and unless my key count returns 0. Okay, so let's pass this to key reference. Alright, so now my key reference during the first traverse of this loop will hold the information of key 1, then key 2, then key 3 and so on. Alright, so let's say I have to find out that how many fields are available in my first key index. Okay, so what I can do here is that let me write the message that total fields in key index %1 is %2. Okay, so now what I can do here is that I can pass first I and then KRef dot field count. Okay, so what I'm printing here is that I am printing the value, the fields which are available in the key 1, then key 2, then key 3. Okay, so first time it will return 1, second time it will return 1, but third time it will return 2 because it has two fields in it. Okay, this is the use of this field count function. Now I have identified the total number of fields which are available in my each key index. So let's identify actual field. What exactly the field? Which field is available in my key index? I've already identified the count of the total number of keys in my table. Then I have identified the count of number of fields which are available in each key index. Okay, now it's time to identify that what fields or like how which fields are available in my each key index. So what we can do is that let me create one more variable of integer and let's inside of this loop let's run or let's create another loop, this time for j equals to 1 to which option or which field I should use here. I should use key reference dot field count, right? Because now I have to traverse to the fields which are available in my each key index. Okay, so that's why I'm doing so. So do begin and now let's type key reference dot field index. Okay, and it takes integer and it returns the field reference. So we know that I have to pass j here because I want to traverse to my each field against key index one by one. So I have to pass, or I have to start from one only. But I have to create another variable of field reference, right? So what I can do here is that's it. So now my the field which is available in this key, I have passed this field information to this field reference. So this field reference is now pointing towards the field code in the first traverse, then the information of name in the second traverse, and so on. So now, because all the information about my field is now a part of this field reference variable, so it becomes so easy for me that I could easily fetch out the caption of the field or the ID of the field or whatever it is. So for example, now if you see, it has a function called caption. Okay, so which will return the caption of the field. Okay, if you want to know the field name, if you want to know the number of the field, then also you could use the number, okay, name, and so on. It totally depends on you. Okay, so for example, if you want to print the caption of the field, so I could use here field caption, and of course I have to pass some text variable here. So what I can do here is I create one variable of type text and pass it here. So f name, and let's also print the actual field name, and that's it. So if you see now what I'm doing here, first first of all, I use the record reference variable to pass the reference of my table against which I want to identify the keys. Okay, so I pass the location table here. Then I'm checking that how many keys are available in my location table. So I fetch out the count of the keys. Then I am traversing the total number of keys which are available in location table one by one to identify the key index. Okay, so that's why through this function I'm identifying the key index for each key one by one and passing it to the key reference variable. Then, because now whatever the whole key is a part of the key reference variable, so that means I can find out the total number of fields which are available or which are a part of that key, and then fetch out the name of that field or the number of that field one by one. So this is the use of the key reference. Now, just to see the actual output, what I can do here is that let me create one action. Okay, and find, let's name it find table keys, and name it location table keys, location tab keys. Okay, so this is my code unit itself. This is the name, right? So what I have to do now here is that I have to pass my function, which is find the keys of location table. Okay, let's build this project. Okay, I'm getting some error. Here it is. Let's build the package and deploy the package. Okay, once it is deployed, we will see the use of all this code which we have write down here. Okay, sometimes it becomes so necessary. I've come across this scenario last week, so that's why I thought that I should share this concept if anyone don't know about this. So that is why I'm making this video. Let's see the result now. First of all, we should open the location table itself and see this is the result my function should return. Okay, so let's go back to the Business Central. Okay, here it is. It is opening up at the moment. Now it has opened up. Click on Action and click on Location tab keys. So first thing is table key count is 4. Okay, so we have 3 keys, but it is showing 4. Let's go again and see what is the issue. Click on OK. Okay, total fields in the key index 1 is 1. If I see, yes, it is 1 only. And the name of the field is code, right? Click OK. Now, total fields in the key index 2 is also 1. And if I see, yes, it has the name. So let's see if it prints the name. Yes, the caption is name. Click on OK. Total fields in the key index 3 is 2. So yes, in my third key, it has 2 fields, use as in transit and the bin mandatory. Let's see if it returns the name exactly the same or not. So we have use as in transit and bin mandatory, right? We have this only. Click on OK. Total fields in key index 4 is 1. I don't know why it is showing so. I don't have. Okay, system ID. Oh, I forgot because see, system ID is a field which is a part of by default a part of each table. Whether you whether it's a base table or whether you create a table or a custom table, you don't need to create a system ID field on your own. It automatically available against each table and it is a part of the key also. So that is why it is showing so. By default, you cannot see in the table structure, in the table design. You can never see, but it automatically available. So that is why. And see, our code is checking that also. So click on OK, and that's it. So here we can see that how our code is or how our function is running and traversing each key one by one and also identifying the number of fields and the field caption which are available against each key index. Okay, I can understand that you may be thinking that what is the use of this, but believe me guys, there are certain scenarios when you are developing some functionality where you require that you do not know prior, but you have to identify at runtime that what table should come in and what are the primary keys of that particular table so that you could use it and pass it for the sorting purposes or for any sort of purposes. Okay, so that is why we have to understand the use of the key reference and how we should use of all the functions which are available in the key reference. I hope you have at least got an idea of the usage of key reference, and of course you can always explore it more to learn more features of it and how you can use it in your scenario. It's totally up to you. Thank you very much for watching this today's video. If you like the today's video, then I request you to please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.